James Bond.
Say what again? I dare you. I double dare you, motherfucker. Say what one more goddamn time. Humans sacrifice, dogs and cats living together. That's hysteria. Wow. Can you dig it? Can you dig it? Can you dig it?
Hey there, you horror lovers, and welcome back to the Lucid Nightmare. I'm your host as always, Jay Schatzer, and today I have a fabulous horror anthology lined up for us. It is Peter Duffel's 1971 classic. Guys, it is The House That Dripped Blood. And this one is just really entertaining, it's got a lot of great actors in it, and just a lot of fun. So let's dive into the great anthology flick, The House That Dripped Blood. The House That Dripped Blood is a tremendously grand UK horror anthology film, which gathers the greats of the genre and allows them to run wild in this fantastically macabre horror landscape. Drowning in a thick atmosphere that threatens to choke the life out of its audience, this is one horror entry that genuinely entertains in classic tone and vicious intentions. Classically portrayed and abundantly haunting, The House That Dripped Blood is an Amicus-produced horror flick that truly embraces the supernatural while presenting a series of stories that entertain in spooky splendor. The film tells four sordid tales of death, centered around a malevolent house which has claimed the lives of all that have inhabited it. From a horror novelist's deadly manifestations to a vampiric tale that turns the film on its head, this anthology packs a punch and delivers an outstanding array of varying stories and unforgettable yarns that serve to make this horror production an outstanding example of this most heralded genre. The first story is entitled Method for Murder, which presents a horror novelist who becomes obsessed with his most recent murderous creation. Performed in splendid style by Denholm Elliott as the unhinged writer Charles Hillier, and accompanied by the lovely Joanna Dunham as Alice Hillier, the concerned and highly endangered wife of Charles. This particular story is overwhelmingly hypnotic as it falls headlong into paranoia and tremendous dread, which permeates the entire tale. Denholm Elliott especially does an amazing job with the material, as you really feel as if he is truly going insane. Convinced that the main character of his story is trying to kill him, Dunham thrills in the plagued role, and his haunted approach to the unsettling situation is a real treat, and one that kicks off this anthology film in perfect style. The second entry in the production is entitled Waxworks, where we are witness to two friendly rivals as they fall in love with a wax figure that strikingly resembles a beautiful woman that they both fought over in the past. Performed outstandingly by Peter Cushing and Joss Agland, the two thespians duke it out in atmospheric fashion, presenting a tale that is both personally portrayed and hypnotically crafted. Obsessively presented in haunting style, the centralized focus of the mesmerizing wax figure is an interesting choice, and one that makes Waxworks a disturbing addition with an intimate twist to the genre. This is all due to Peter Cushing's outstanding performance as retired stockbroker Philip Grayson, as he gives his character a ridiculously sympathetic touch, which engulfs the entire story. Next up is the third tale of this creepy anthology, Sweet to the Sweets. Headlined by the magnificent Christopher Lee as John Reed, the story tells of a recently widowed father of a most interesting young girl, one that has special powers and a maleficent personality. The atmosphere of this particular entry is out of this world atmospheric, as Lee gives his overbearing father character an oppressive disposition, which honestly interjects a potent persona to this unchained yarn. Balancing out the nefarious tone of Lee's performance is Nairi Dawn Porter as Anne Norton, the newly hired nanny with a tremendously compassionate heart. It's the clashing of personalities of both Lee and Porter that really make this story rather intriguing, not to mention the addition of young Chloe Franks as the troubled supernatural child. Rounding out this enthralling anthology is the outrageous The Cloak, which tells the story of an arrogant character actor named Paul Henderson, who finds that his endless string of fictional vampire characters are finally begin to come to life, thanks to an enchanted cloak that transforms him into an honest-to-goodness vampire ghoul. Jon Pertwee takes on the central role and does it in swaggering assholish style that simply entertains to high hell. In this entry, the tone of the film changes from overwhelming atmosphere to camp silliness, as Pertwee hams it up in almost unrestrained glee. The true stunner of this tale, though, is the inclusion of the super sexy cinematic goddess, Ingrid Pitt. Absolutely luscious, Pitt steals the show, giving one of the film's most memorable of moments when she reveals to Pertwee's character that she is indeed a blood-sucking vampire. All in all, The Cloak is an odd yet enjoyable way to end the anthology, and it closes this series of sordid tales with a silly but entertaining jolt. When it comes to enjoyable horror anthologies, The House That Dripped Blood is a unique gem of the heralded genre. It's got varying tones throughout its runtime, from overbearing horror to uncontrollable silliness, yet packed all together makes for a cinematic ride that wholly engages its audience in the most wildly diverse of ways. If you're in the mood for an obscure gem which excels in its unorthodox approach, then The House That Dripped Blood is a tremendous cinematic treat for your movie-loving senses. In summary, The House That Dripped Blood is a wonderful UK anthology flick that's wicked cool and atmospherically rich. And there you have it, horror fans. That is the great anthology flick, The House That Dripped Blood. Guys, it's a great one. It's very diverse, like I said. It's got a lot of weird genre elements to it, from comedy and horror, but it's all packed together in a pretty entertaining package. So check that one out this holiday season if you're in the mood for something creepy. But guys, that's it for me today. Hope you enjoyed that review, and I hope you like what I'm doing here. If you do, please like and subscribe. And if you have time, leave a comment below because I'd love to hear from you. But until then, I will see you at the next movie review. Take care.